Could you retire on $10 million? Is it enough for you? You have to think about it. 10 million bucks sounds like a lot of money, right? Well, this has been a conversation that's been going on for a little while here on social media. Could you retire on $10 million? It's just not enough. Okay. Look, $10 million is enough to retire on. In fact, it's more money than the vast majority of humanity will ever see. If you have a $10 million net worth, I mean, congratulations. You're rich. You're rich, son. Enjoy it. But there is some practical things to talk about, right? When we talk about, okay, having a $10 million net worth, is that $10 million in cash that you can just ape into the S&P 500 and get a 10% return on for the rest of your life? So you can extract $1 million a year for infinity? Well, maybe, maybe not. Or does this include your house and other kind of illiquid investments? Interesting question. You could have a $3 million house and a $7 million investing portfolio at the top, for example. Maybe it isn't that much because it goes down to $1 million in the bear market, right? Definitely interesting idea, though. Is $10 million enough? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is $10 million enough to retire on? I think the answer is definitively yes. If you have $10 million, like, you're doing good. Even if you get even if you were just getting 1% interest on $10 million, that's a lot of money every year. If you're getting 5% interest on $10 million, killing it. You're killing it. You're killing it. Seriously, $500,000 a year. I know the tax man's going to take like a third to half of that. So that's kind of a bit of a downer, right? But definitely, I can agree with the sentiment that $1 million is really not like what I imagined it to be back in like the 90s, for example. Like $1 million is like, whoa, $1 million, man. And to be fair, because of inflation, $1 million was worth a lot more back in the 90s. It's worth like half as much now. But still, $1 million is a lot of money. And if you have $1 million, goodness gracious, you should be ecstatic and over the moon and be counting your blessings, because $1 million is a tremendous amount of money and more money than 90% of the people on this planet are ever going to see. $10 million is an extravagance. And it comes down to, well, how do you live your life? What are the things that you would require in your life on a year-to-year basis to require needing more than $10 million? And I know how social media is. I know, I'm there. I see the stuff going on. I see the other influencers got the Rolexes, baby. It's all about first class flights everywhere, and you're buying a new Lamborghini. I got 3 Lamborghinis, man. What, 1 Lamborghini's for punks? I got 3 Lamborghinis and a Bugatti. Come on. You don't need to keep up with the Joneses, right? Crypto influencers, social influencers in general, are in a very unique situation in terms of being able to make truckloads of money. And if you're just a regular Joe investing in this market, it's a really bad metric to measure your success and your happiness on, because a lot of that crap's fake. Most people are full of shit and are lying anyway. And the few people that aren't, well, they've done things that you haven't done. They built things you haven't built. It's like looking at Jeff Bezos and going, man, I should have what he has. And I didn't build Amazon, but I want that same thing. Right? So don't get lured into these fantasies. You don't need to have 5 Lamborghinis to be happy. You don't need to have $200 million worth of watches or $2 million worth of watches or whatever it is to be happy or to live a really, really good life. I mean, if you had $10 million, just as a crazy number, right? Let's say you do it. You nail it, man. You nail it. And next cycle, you cash out for $10 million in profits. I mean, well done, first. But second, you've made it. You have definitively made it. With $10 million, you can take that and you can get so much passive income every year from relatively safe things that you're going to be fine. If you're getting $500,000 a year for the rest of your life, that is the equivalent of winning the lottery for the vast majority of people in this world. Okay, sure. If you're like, a super rich Uber dude, like, whatever. Okay, maybe, $500,000 for jumps, man. Like, no, $500,000 is crazy, crazy money. If you can create that kind of passive income for yourself, it's absurd. If you can create a passive income of $50,000 a year for yourself for the vast majority of people in this world, that's insanity. You should be so lucky. It's incredible. It's incredible. I think that's like a crazy good goal. If you can have $50,000 a year in passive income from stock dividends and bank deposits and staking rewards from Ethereum and Cardano and stuff like that, I mean, you're slaying it. That's such an amazing thing to do. So wins should be celebrated. It's so easy in social media to play this game of like keeping up with the Joneses, right? Somebody's always going to be richer than you. Unless you're Elon Musk, someone's always going to be richer than you. Just accept it. Just accept it because that's the way it works. And that's okay. You don't have to be the richest guy in the world, right? What you need to do is figure out how you can get enough money to take care of yourself, your family, right? Your community, if you have such abundance in your life, right? You know, this is important stuff. This is what really matters. Flexing on social media that you got a car, you got to watch. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, man. Honestly, it doesn't make your life any better. If you enjoy fast cars, if you enjoy watches, you want to buy those things for you because you have enough financial abundance that you've already taken care of yourself, you've already taken care of your family. Your kids aren't going to have to struggle through life and not be able to pay for school. And, you know, you've retired your parents and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, then treat yourself to some stuff. And you know what? Take care of your community too. Give back to charity, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, or just YOLO it all into yachts and Lambos and, you know, live that life too. Whatever you guys want to do. It's up to you. Of course, your money if you make 10 million bucks, but just perspective, right? Because I think that crypto is going to make a whole new batch of millionaires this cycle. I mean, if you are here now, I got some good news for you. There's a good chance that you are going to make a truckload of money. Now, if you're coming in with $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, even $100,000, your chances of becoming a multimillionaire are not super, super high. They are there. If you get in the right coins, if you put $10,000 into the right coin, you can literally make millions in this market during the next cycle, but you've got to sell. If you don't sell, you're never going to make any money. You'll do a round trip. You're going to go here right now from our accumulation stage, run it right up, run it right back down to the ground. A lot of people did that last cycle. Don't let that be you. Do not let that be you. Do not let that be you. You will kick yourself in the balls every day for 2 years straight during the next bear market if you don't take damn profits. Seriously. But crypto will make many new millionaires in the next cycle. So be ready for it. Be positioning yourself for that. Be hustling right now as hard as you can, because now is the time to hustle. Now is the time to get extra income to invest. Now is the time to be farming as many airdrops as you possibly can. And then you hold on to those airdrops and you don't need to auto dump them. Look, you can sell them if you want to, right? Maybe you want to sell them for another coin or something like that. Maybe you need some cash. I'm not going to judge. But let me give you two examples, Avalanche and Solana. People who participated in the test nets for Avalanche and Solana, they were gifted some coins for doing that. Those coins, had they held them from the time they received them until the market peaks, were worth close to $1 million each. Just from participating in the test net, man. Didn't even require any real money, just clicking buttons. There are test nets out there. We share these all the time, of course, in the Wealth Mastery newsletter, link down below. We share test nets. There's new airdrop opportunities coming all the time. And there's airdrops that are regular out here that are giving, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to people who just click a few buttons, do a few swaps, provide a little bit of liquidity. And of course, there are bigger paydays out there as well for airdroppers, for those who can hold on to them for a bit longer. Doesn't always work out. Some of those airdrops will go to zero. So there's that too, right? But if you get so lucky as to be a millionaire in the next cycle, make sure to sell. Make sure to sell. I want you guys to get rich. I really, really do. I want everybody here listening to this to get rich as all hell next market cycle, because if you are here right now, your chances of getting good gains moving forward are pretty high. I did want to share this with you, though, because this is something interesting I saw floating around. I did some calculations. With the money I invested, I'll probably never make life-changing money. I'm curious to know how many of you are really into it and think you're going to make life-changing money by trading cryptocurrencies. So basically, I did some calculations the other day, and even if the coins I'm invested in make a 10x jump with the price, that still wouldn't be life-changing money. What it would do probably is only open the way for me to make some serious money if I'm lucky and smart, invest in things that will keep pumping with the price. Even then, a lot of work will be needed to achieve that level. So basically, I'll probably never make life-changing money. I'll have to work all my life, which is fine, I guess. I never thought that I'd make so much that I would stop working. I guess some free or cheaper house or a car would be nice to have with crypto earnings. But I'm curious, how many of you actually are in it for life-changing money? What is your plan? Is there someone among us who actually has made serious life-changing money? How did you do it? I'm curious to know. This is a very interesting sentiment. I think it's a kind of post that really We've all been there. We've all been there. You know, it is possible to make huge money in crypto. But again, do not be misled by so much what we see on social media, so much of the flexing, because half the flexing is bullshit anyway. But realistically, there's a lot of money to be made in this market, but you might not make it this cycle. And that's it. And of course, what is life-changing money? For some people, life-changing money is $10,000. For some people, it's $100,000. For some people, they have such crazy, I don't know, poverty mentalities or something. They couldn't get by on $100 million. They'd gamble it all away and be broke in 6 months. It's true. Look at lottery winners. Because if the market does go in your favor and you do get into the right altcoins and you sell them at the right time, it can be like winning the lottery. The money comes so hard and so fast, it is almost like winning the lottery. But let's say that this is not the cycle where you're going to get life-changing money. This is the cycle where you build your capital base. If you have $10,000, you could walk away from this coming cycle with anywhere between $100,000 and $500,000. Realistically, if you're chasing the narratives, taking profits on pumps, rotating into the next thing, it's going to take some work, right? You're going to have to work at it. It's not just going to happen. It's not just going to fall in your lap. You might be the guy who puts, money into Pepe or whatever the next Pepe is going to be at the right time and gets rich. That's like winning the lottery. That's the exception, not the rule. Most of us are the rule when it comes to investing, which means you have to put in the hard work. But maybe this cycle, you get enough money that you can get really ready for the next cycle. And that's the one where you make life-changing money. And you have to think about it. We're all so impatient. We always overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5 years. If the next all-time high is late 2024 or mid-2025, guys, it's like 2 years away. That's right around the corner. I know it seems like a long time, but it's right around the corner. So if in 2 years you get enough money to make it the next cycle, so if I was to tell you right now, in 6 years' time, you're going to have life-changing money, you go, it's too long. I don't want it. I don't want it if I have to wait 6 years. I wanted it tomorrow. I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to go back to work, back to my slave job for my slave wages. I work there till I die and then retire and watch TV for 4.5 hours a day until I pass over dead. Okay, guys, sure. If you stick with it, if you stay dedicated to the cause, then you can make it in these markets. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not as easy as some might make it out to be. You will have to work hard. You will have to take risks. It's not as easy as just, throwing a few bucks into something and hoping that it works out, right? Crypto's volatile. It's dangerous. DeFi platforms get hacked. Exchanges go down. I mean, the amount of crap I've seen in this market, geez Louise. But money can indeed be made. I love this, by the way, this post from Sherlock Hodls here. Imagine retiring with only $9.97 million and a wife as mid as Margot Robbie. Oh, yes. That's hilarious, man. That is absolutely hilarious. Or what about this? When you retire, but you only have $10 million in the bank, what are you going to do? Back to McDonald's. Back to McDonald's, man. But yeah, really ask yourself, how much do you actually need? How much money do you need? Is $10 million enough? Is that the number for you? You got your big goal for life. I got $10 million, right? What's it really come down to? What are you actually here for? And this is a question I think a lot of investors don't even necessarily ask themselves. You just get so excited by investing, which I totally understand. I'm very excited by investing all the time, but you get so damn excited, you don't actually stop to think, well, where am I going with this? And that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. Takes a while sometimes to figure out where you're going with all this. But at some point, do you want to escape that 9 to 5? Maybe you want to do a different job. Maybe you want to have more time for your family, your passions. Maybe you want to retire early and sail a boat around the world, whatever the heck it is, man. Create that vision for yourself. Where do you want to be and how are you going to take the steps to get there? Because once you have that vision locked in, once you know where it is you want to go, getting there becomes a hell of a lot easier. And for most people, that's not going to require $10 million. $10 million is an extravagance, so you can buy expensive cars and watches and all that stuff. And if you want to get $10 million, by all means, get $10 million, get the watches, get the cars, enjoy your life, however you want to do it. But it doesn't have to be the measure of success, because it's not a measure of success.